A while ago, I tried boosting the signals generated by these modules. I used 4 transistors and powered the module with a high power regulator. At first, I didn't get great results. But after switching the antenna, the range between the transmitter and receiver increased to about 100 meters. In this video, I'm going to test a new idea to see if we can push the range even further, using these same simple modules. So make sure to stick around and watch every moment of this video. Let's get started. So at first, I wanted to test the transmitter and receiver modules, but believe it or not, they were all not working. I'm pretty sure the breadboard was the problem. So I've decided not to use it anymore. I have a small piece of PCB, and I'll try to mount the transmitter on that instead. Alright, as you can see, it's working now. I've already shared the resources for this project before, but I'll make sure to link them again in the description below. Let me explain the idea behind the code real quick. I've set up the transmitter to send a sample code every 2 seconds. Now, in a video I posted last year, I talked about encoding signals. Basically, how to make sure the receiver only picks up messages from our specific transmitter. The trick is simple, just add a 3-digit ID at the beginning of each message. For example, something like 101. On the receiver side, the code is written to check the first 3 digits. If it matches 101, it will read and display the rest of the message, which is the actual data we want to transmit. I've placed the transmitter in a fixed position, and right now I'm standing just under 100 meters away from it. There are also a few obstacles in between. Now I'm going to reset the microcontroller to see if we're still receiving the signal. And awesome, it's working. This video is proudly sponsored by PCBWay, a leading company with over 11 years of experience in manufacturing all kinds of PCBs, sheet metal fabrication, 3D printing, CNC machining, and more. To celebrate their 11th anniversary, they're hosting a 30-day event where you can win lots of exclusive coupons. So don't wait, visit their website for more details. The link to join the celebration is right below this video. So, how can we increase the range of this transmitter-receiver setup? Well, here I'm going to use my own RF hacker project. First, I remove its display and modify the code so that it can recognize the transmitter's authentication code, which, in our case, is 101. Once it receives the main data, I attach a new authentication code to it, for example, 201, and send it out again. Now the final receiver is programmed to listen for messages with the 201 code. By placing the RF hacker between the transmitter and the receiver, we effectively double the communication range. So basically, RF hacker works like a repeater or a signal relay in this setup. And yes, you can use multiple repeaters like this to go even farther. Let me write the code for it. Alright, so I finished building all 3 circuits, but unfortunately, none of them worked. After doing a bit of troubleshooting, I found out that the transmitter itself was faulty. Now, my only idea to fix this was to turn on this relay so the microcontroller would switch over to the 315 MHz transmitter. But of course, that means we also need to use a 315 MHz module on the receiver side. So right now, as you can see, both the transmitter and receiver are powered on, but nothing's being received. That makes sense, because both the authentication code and the frequency have changed. But now, let me turn on the switch circuit, and, yes, it worked. Unfortunately, because my modules keep getting damaged, the frequency has changed too, and that means GSM antennas aren't really suitable for this receiver anymore. So I haven't been able to fully test this idea, but even here, with a pretty noticeable distance from the transmitter, it still works well, because it's based on the same principle that cellular networks use in mobile phones. Now just imagine if we used an NRF24L01 module instead. We might actually reach up to 4 kilometers of range. Thanks so much for sticking with me till the end of the video. If this video gets enough likes, I'll go ahead and test this idea using NRF24L01 modules as well. Really appreciate you watching.